Hi everyone, Jessica here. Welcome to this week's sequence. This sequence I'm calling Tending the Soil. This time of year I start dreaming of spring. We're halfway through winter already. So today on your mat, I want you to think about your movement and your breath as tending your soil. Getting your soil perfectly rich in nutrients so that when the spring seed blows by, it takes root and you can become your full potential. So as we move today, pull out the thorns and pluck the weeds, turn things over. Grab a couple blocks, maybe a yoga strap, and meet me on your mat. We'll start lying on our backs. Let yourself be heavy on the mat. Let yourself feel supported by the earth. Start expanding and deepening the breath, filling up the belly and creating space in the ribs. On your exhales, soften the heart a little bit closer to the floor. Maybe begin to lengthen the inhales and the exhales. On your next inhale, draw the legs into the chest. Take a little rock side to side on the lower back. Let the feet float back down to the mat. Land them hip width apart. Bring the arms by your sides, palms face down. Inhale your arms straight up overhead. Touch the back of your palms to the space behind your mat. Exhale, bring your hands back down by your side. We'll do that with the rhythm of our breath. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Let the back of your palms touch the floor, maybe. Exhale, melt the hands back to the sides of your body. Good. Keep going. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Expand in the armpits. Big breath. Exhale, bring the hands back down. Lovely. We'll do it one more time. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the sides of the body. We'll add the hips here. So on an inhale, you're going to lift the hips and track the arms up and over your head. Inhale, lift the hips, arms up overhead. Exhale, bring everything back down. Good. Really press into all four corners of your feet. Notice one vertebrae at a time, lifting and then releasing back down. Keep going to the rhythm of your breath. Inhale the arms and the hips at the same time. Lift, press up. Exhale, melt everything back down. Good. We'll do it one more time. Inhale, lift the hips, maybe as high as you can go this time. Press into the arch side of your foot. Good. Exhale, let everything melt back down. We'll prepare for a regular bridge pose. So track the heels maybe a little bit closer into the butt. Really find all four corners of your feet. Inhale, peel the hips up off the mat. Track the shoulder blades nice and close underneath your heart. Maybe interlace your hands underneath your body. And then just think about drawing the chest closer to the chin. Good. Press into your feet. Lengthen the thighs towards the knees for 3, 2, 1. Melt the hips back down to the mat. Really nice. Pull the legs into the chest. Give yourself another neutralizing squeeze, rock side to side. And then bring the hands underneath the hamstrings, underneath the knees. Point the toes. Hollow out the belly. Start to pump the legs forward and back, rocking the body on the length of the spine. Maybe rock yourself into a boat pose. Bring the shins parallel to the mat. Find that little spot in your tailbone. Lift the heart. Maybe bring the arms out to the sides. Keep breathing. Activate the feet for 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Cross the legs or swing them off to the side. Make your way into your tabletop position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Just take some movements that feel good. Maybe some tail wags. Maybe shift the hips back and forth. Just do a little scan of the body. Good. We'll meet back in a neutral tabletop position when you're ready. And take a nice cat-cow. Drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, draw the chin to the chest, round the upper back, press into the fingers. Come on back to neutral. We're going to move into a modified side angle. Bring your right toes out like a little kickstand. Left leg is going to extend behind you. Seal your foot onto the mat. Peel the left hand high up to the sky. Good. Press the hips forward. Maybe look at your top hand. Take a big breath. On your exhale, reach your hand forward, down to the floor, back towards the back of your mat, and up. Do that 2 more times. Notice the fluidity in your shoulder as you reach and open. Create a little bit more space. 1 more time. Lovely. Come back to a neutral tabletop position when you're ready. Take another cat-cow to neutralize. Drop the belly, spread the sit bones. Exhale, chin to chest, round. Bring the heart to the ceiling. We'll take that all to the opposite side. So left toes come out like a little kickstand. Right leg extends behind you. Seal your foot onto the floor. Peel that right hand high up to the sky. Take a big, big breath. On your exhale, reach your hand towards the front of your space, down to the floor, towards the back, and back up. Do 2 more circles. Really reach, breathe, flow, open up the heart. 1 more time. Nice. With grace, come on back to your tabletop position. And then take another cat-cow. Just getting into the body and the breath. Good. Walk those fingers slightly forward. Flip the toes. Make your way to downward facing dog. Send the hips up high. Take some time in your downward facing dog. Make sure your wrist creases are parallel to the top of your mat. Really press into the finger pads and the knuckles so you come out of your wrists. Draw the shoulders towards the hips. Maybe peekaboo under one armpit and then the other. Maybe bend the knees generously and then send the hips back up high. Let the head hang heavy. Draw the ribs close to one another. At the bottom of your exhale, we'll start to take 10 tiny steps to the front of your mat. So come high up onto your tippy toes and just 10 tiny steps, like you're drawing 2 little lines behind your hands. Maybe come up onto your fingerprints to make some space. Once you get there, find ragdoll arms. Bring your hands in your elbow creases. Let your head hang heavy. Lift all 10 of your toes and set them back down. Draw the lower belly towards the spine. Opposite forearm on top. Let your forearms be a little bit heavier towards the floor. And then release the arms down to a dangle. Keep the chin tucked until last. Begin to roll the body up to standing. Chin comes up last. Stacking the vertebrae on top of one another nice and slow. Take some big shoulder rolls when you get to the top. And take the shoulder rolls in the opposite direction. Find stability in your feet. Mountain pose. Find your inner thighs rooted towards the back of your space. Pull the belly in tight. Slightly tuck the pelvis. Energy into your fingers. Drop the shoulders down the back. Find a soft gaze and a full, steady breath. What is it that you would like to manifest and grow this spring? Inhale the arms up and overhead. Take a big, big inhale. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart center. Tuck the pelvis, pull the belly in. Leave the palms touching. Inhale the arms back up overhead. On your exhale, bend your elbows. Bring your thumbs to the back of your neck. Biceps are close to your ears. Inhale, lift the heart. Press the hips forward, belly in tight. You can let the weight of your head come into this little cradle that you've created with your hands. Inhale, reach the arms straight back up. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Lead with your heart. Reach for the floor. Find a halfway lift and a strong flat back. Bring the hands to your shins. Exhale, plant your hands. Take your way back to downward facing dog. Maybe hold high plank. Maybe take a push-up. Maybe go straight to downward facing dog. Good. Find your breath. Press into the hands and the feet a lot. Good. Press the chest a little bit closer to the thighs. Let's start to build some heat. Look at the hands. Jump or step to the front of your mat. Inhale, rise with a flat back this time. Bring the hands up and overhead. Exhale, seal the hands into your heart, belly in tight. Inhale, bring the arms back up overhead. Keep the palms pressing together. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift the heart. Lean back, pull the belly in tight. Inhale, reach the arms back up high. Keep your palms pressing. Exhale, fold, lead with your heart. Nice. Halfway lift, strong flat back, shoulder blades close. Exhale, plant those hands. Take it back. Maybe high plank, maybe a chaturanga push-up, elbows in nice and tight, downward facing dog. Listen to your body, do what you need to do. Maybe skip it. Maybe take the full push-up. Press into the finger pads and the knuckles. Let the head hang a little bit heavier. Let's start to build some heat in the body. At the bottom of your exhale, look at your hands. Jump or step to the front of your mat. Rise with a flat back this time. Bring the hands up and overhead. Exhale, seal the hands into your heart. Press the palms together. Inhale the arms back up overhead. Exhale, bend the elbows. Lift the heart. Press the hips forward, belly in tight. Inhale, reach the arms back up high. Fold forward, bow down. Halfway lift, strong flat back, nice. Plant those hands, make your way there. Downward facing dog, hips up high. Good. Let that head hang heavy. Draw the heels closer to the floor. Use your breath, listen to your heartbeat. Look at the hands. Jump or step to the front of your mat. This time, let's find our chair pose. Bring the feet hip width apart or big toes touching. Track the tailbone down. Sit the booty back and down. Make sure you can see all 10 of those toes. Draw the ribs close to one another, belly in tight. Focus the gaze. Put the weight mainly into your heels. Maybe get a little bit lower. Fold forward. Nice job. Let it go. Find your halfway lift once again. Flat back. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper this time. Bring the hands to the ankles or the shins and let the head hang heavy. Find your halfway lift once again. Nice flat back, shoulder blades close. On your exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back, find a low lunge, and then drop down to the back knee. Maybe utilize some blocks. Just take a second to move forward and back, just checking out the right side of the body. Just noticing any kinks that may be in the hip crease or the right knee. A moment of self-study. When you're ready, we'll find half Hanumasana, half split. So walk the fingertips or the blocks towards the back of your space and then straighten your front leg, flex your front toes towards your face. Send the breath to the back of the leg. Gently pull that right hip crease back. Keep flexing the toes towards the face. Big breath, send it right where you're stretching to the back of the leg. Nice. Slowly come on back to your strong low lunge. Lift your back knee up off the mat. Make sure you're on 2 separate tracks. You have a nice sturdy foundation. And then really press into your feet to rise up to a high crescent lunge. Bring the hands up overhead. Press the hips forward and then pull the ribs in. Pull the belly in tight. Nice. Maybe go a little bit deeper into your front lunge, driving the back heel back. Keep focusing the breath. Inhale, straighten the legs, straight and strong. Exhale, Warrior 2, spiral the back foot down to the mat, and then just take some time tracking the front heel in line with the back arch, seeing that the hips are level, shoulders down the back, eyes are focused over the front finger. Press into the pinky side of that back foot. Keep breathing, full breaths. Inhale, straighten the front leg, straight and strong. Reach that right arm high up to the sky, reverse triangle. And then pivot the front toes and open it up to a star. Spread the fingers wide, take a big breath into your heart. Turn your heels in and your toes out. Sit low into your horse. Bring your hands to your heart center. Imagine that you're leaning against a wall, shoulders directly over hips. Knees are tracking towards your pinky toes. Maybe get a little bit lower, pull the belly in tight. One more breath. Inhale, back to star. Nice job. Parallel the feet, hinge at the hips, soft knees, fold forward, Prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. Just let the weight roll slightly forward here. Check in with the hips. Is one of your hips higher than the other one? Maybe you can level them out. Keep lifting the hips high as you send the breath to the back of the leg. Halfway lift, strong flat back. Exhale, low lunge to the front of your mat. Good. Moving into side plank from here, you can either step your front foot to your back foot, find your high plank, and rotate your feet to the left and lift your left hand, or right leg lifts high like you're going into a three-legged dog. Spiral the left foot down to the mat, peel the right hand up, side plank. Breathe, lift the hips, focus the eyes, keep breathing. Keep firing up in those obliques, pressing into the 5 fingers of your left hand for 3, 2, 1. Come back to high plank, downward facing dog, hips up high. Maybe take an open mouth exhale to release some heat. And go right back to your breath. Find those finger pads and knuckles. Nice and slow, cascade yourself into a high plank. Then drop down to the knees, elbows in nice and tight, lower all the way to the belly. We'll take 3 rolling cobras, but before we do, lift up your right leg and take your foot towards the back of your mat and then set it back down. Lift up your left leg, take it towards the back of your mat and set it back down. Notice how that created a little bit more length. Good. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Press into the feet. Peel the heart forward and through for cobra pose. Neck stays in line with the spine. Exhale, forehead down. Use the back muscles. 2 more times. Press into the feet. Lift the heart. Belly in tight. Little to no weight in the hands. Exhale, forehead down. 1 more time. Nice and strong. Really press into the feet. Lift. Exhale, forehead down. Good. Lift the belly up off the mat. Find your tabletop position or your high plank. Downward facing dog, hips up high. Nice. Just listen to your heart. Find your breath. Check in with the fingers. Make sure they're all pressing down. Send the chest a little bit closer to the thighs. Good. Take a big inhale. Fill up. At the bottom of your exhale, jump or step to the front of your mat. Find your chair pose once again. Sit down nice and low. Lift all 10 of those toes. Make sure you can see all 10 of those toes. Shift the booty back and down. Shoulders are down the back, belly in tight. Fold forward, let it go. Halfway lift, strong flat back. Bring the shoulder blades close. Look forward on your mat. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Let the head hang heavy. Maybe grab for the ankles or the calves. Halfway lift once again, strong. Plant those hands. Step the right foot back this time. Drop down to the back knee. Grab those blocks. Make sure the front foot is far enough forward. Just check in with this side of the body. Is it much different than the right side? Let's take a moment of self-study. What can you learn about your body? Half Hanumasana, half splits. Straighten the front leg. Flex the front toes towards the face. Gently take that left hip crease slightly back as you breathe into the back of your thigh, the back of your leg. Nice, big, steady breaths. Really send the breath to the areas where you have the most sensation. One more nice, steady breath. Fill up. And then walk yourself back forward to your strong low lunge. Be sure the back heel is high up over the toes. Set up your wide foundation, rise up, high crescent lunge. Bring the hands up overhead. Press the hips forward. Draw the knee over the ankle. Notice if the knee is collapsing to the center line. Can you make sure that it's tracking towards the pinky toe? Shoulders are out of the ears. Ribs are close. Breathe. On your next inhale, straighten the legs, straight and strong, squeeze the glutes. Warrior 2, spiral the back foot down to the mat. Take a moment to make sure your front heel is in line with your back arch. Hips are level. Reach through both hands equally. Focus the gaze. Drop the shoulders down the back. Keep breathing nice and steady and strong. Really good. Maybe go a little bit deeper. On your inhale, straighten your front leg. Reach your left arm high up to the sky. Take a big breath into your left lung. And then pivot those front toes. Open it up to a big, beautiful star facing the right side of your mat. Spread the fingers wide. Heels in, toes out. Bring the hands to the heart center and sit low into your horse. Imagine you're leaning against a wall, shoulders over hips. Bring the hands down to the thighs. Take a big breath. Inhale the right shoulder to the center of your mat. Inhale, come back to center. Dip the left shoulder to the center of the mat. Inhale, find the middle. Do that one more time on each side using your breath. Once you are done, find the center for a nice breath. Bring the hands back to the heart. Inhale, back to star. Big inhale. Exhale, parallel those feet, fold forward. Prasarita, let the head hang heavy. Let the weight roll slightly forward. Send the breath to the backs of the legs. Send the hips a little bit higher to the sky. Just get a rhythm on the breath here. Let go of any tension that you may be holding in your jaw. One more nice, deep, full breath. Find your halfway lift, strong flat back, shoulder blades close. On your exhale, low lunge to the front of your mat. Just walk your fingers over, pop the back heel back high up over your toes. Moving into a side plank, right hand is your foundation. Really press into your hands. Inhale your left leg like you're coming into a three-legged dog, but then spiral your right foot down to the mat. Stack the feet on top of one another or maybe stagger them. Lift the left hand high up to the sky. Lift the hips. Keep breathing. Really press into the finger pads of the right hand so you stay out of the wrist. Neck is in line with spine. High plank. Nice job. Downward facing dog. Hips up high. Let that head be heavy. Just feel that heart beating in your body. The rhythm of your breath. The heat that you've built. Stay right with your breath the present moment. Drop down into a child's pose, knees wide, big toes touch. Stretch the fingertips towards the front of your mat. Just soften into your breath here. Take a moment to restore. We'll be adding on some, taking away. So just gather your strength. And remember why you are on your mat today. Be grateful for your body. It's no secret that when you take the time to take care of your body and your well-being, good things happen. Seeds are planted. So stick with it. You are strong. You are powerful. Make your way back through a tabletop position. Downward facing dog, send those hips up high. Take a big breath, fill up. Open mouth, exhale, let something go. Good, big breath, fill up. Press down into the hands and the feet more. Good, inhale the right leg high up to the sky. Come high up onto those left tippy toes. Exhale, draw the knee towards the nose, round the upper back, then plant the foot between the hands. Set up your foundation, strong and sturdy. Rise up, high crescent lunge, hands up overhead. Press the hips forward. Pull the ribs close, pull the belly to the spine. Maybe go a little bit deeper. Focus the eyes. Nice. Big, full, steady breath. Pull up on that pelvic floor. Inhale, straighten the legs, straighten strong, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, warrior two, spiral the back foot down to the mat. Just take a moment to set up your warrior two, and then just let the muscle memory that you have from the last time we were here take over. Drop in. Focus. Find your breath. Good. On your next inhale, straighten the front leg. Reach the right arm high. And then bring your arms to a T. Toe heel your back foot in, just one footprint. Extended triangle pose. Send the fingertips towards the front of your space. And then bring the hands to 6 and 12. So I'm going to use the back of my right hand to spiral my heart towards where the ceiling meets the wall. Good. Try not to lock the right leg. Keep lifting out of your obliques. Keep reaching up. Find space in the right side body. Really press down into your feet. Nice, steady, strong breath. Moving into half moon, bring your left hand to your hip. Look down at your right foot. Start to bend your right leg. I like to utilize a block. Step the left foot towards the right foot. And then lift the left leg up off the mat. Start to stack the left hip on top of the right. Maybe lift the left hand high up to the sky. Imagine you're between two panes of glass. Lean back, trust yourself. Pull the belly in tight. Keep the lifted foot active, either pointed, flexed, Barbie foot, something. Keep breathing nice and strong. We'll go back to where we came from, so bend into that front leg to step back slowly with control. Reverse triangle, straighten the front leg, reach the right arm high. Pivot the front toes, open it up to your nice big star. And then just go ahead and fold forward, parallel the feet, Prasarita. Let the head be heavy. Go back to your breath. Release any tension in the jaw. Halfway lift, strong flat back. Exhale, low lunge to the front of your space. Drop down to the back knee. Untuck the toes. Make sure the front foot is far enough forward, then hook the thumbs. Crescent moon, inhale the arms up and overhead. Drop the hips forward and down. Imagine you are creating that beautiful crescent moon in your back body. Pull the belly in tight. Shoulders are down the back, heart is lifted. Keep reaching back, keep breathing. Really nice. Slowly and carefully come on back. Bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Lift the back knee up off the mat. Side plank, once again, left hand is your foundation. I'll offer you side plank with tree. As you lift the right leg high up to the sky and peel the right hand up, place your foot on your inner thigh, just as you are in standing tree, and then lift the hips up high. Right hand reaches up high, press into the 5 fingers of the left hand, keep breathing. Slowly come back to your high plank. Downward facing dog, hips up high, nice job. If that didn't work for you, you can always do a step back to a regular plank and then do side plank. So let's finish this off strong. Left leg lifts high up to the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge, plant the left foot between the hands. Rise up, high crescent lunge, bring the hands up overhead. Really drop into that front lunge right away. Pull the belly in tight, press the hips forward. A nice steady breath. Maybe go a little bit deeper. Check in. Be sure the front knee is not collapsing to the center line. Back heel is high up over the toes. Straighten the front leg, straighten strong, squeeze the glutes. Warrior 2, spiral the back foot down to the mat. Go right into your muscle memory. Find your depth. Press into the pinky side of the back foot. Find some balance between effort and ease. Straighten the front leg, reach the left arm high up to the sky. Big breath. And then bring your arms to a T and pivot those back toes in just a print. Extended triangle, bring the fingertips forward, and then bring the hands to 6 and 12. I'm using the back of my left hand against my leg to spiral my heart to where the ceiling meets the wall. My front leg is straight but not locked. Good. Moving into half moon, bring the right hand to the hip. Look down at the left foot. Maybe grab for a prop or a block. Start to step the back foot towards the front foot and then lift that right leg up off the mat. Maybe fall down. If you do, just hop right back into it. Think about stacking the right hip on top of the left. Sandwiching yourself between 2 panes of glass. Good. Lifted foot is active. Keep breathing. Belly is in tight. Really good. Keep focusing. You're almost there. We're going to step back to where we came from. So nice and slow. Start to put a soft bend into that left leg. Step it back. Left arm is going to reach high up to the sky. Take a big inhale. And then open it up to a star. Pivot those front toes. Take a big breath into your heart. Feel grateful for your body. And then let it go. Fold forward, Prasarita. Let that weight roll slightly forward. Send the breath to the backs of the legs. So we get the opportunity to open up the backs of the legs, which often are closed. Big inhale. Let something go. Big inhale. Exhale. One more. Big breath. Fill up. Exhale. Halfway lift. Strong, flat back. Exhale, low lunge to the front of your space. Pop the back heel high up over the toes, but then drop down to the back knee. Untuck the toes. Crescent moon, hook the thumbs, but put a funny hook on. And then lift the heart. Drop the hips forward and down as you reach back. Dropping the shoulders down the back, pulling the belly to the spine. Lifting the heart. Keep breathing. Try not to resist that right psoas. Gently come out, bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Lift the back knee up off the mat. Good. Side plank, right hand is the foundation. Press into the hands, lift the left leg high. Then use the left hand to place the sole of your foot on your right inner thigh. Reach that left hand high up to the sky. Breathe. Keep lifting the hips. Press into the 5 fingers of your right hand. Nice. Come on back to your high plank. Downward facing dog. Send those hips up high. Good. Really nice. Press the chest a little bit closer to your thighs. Right leg lifts high. On your exhale, half pigeon, right ankle towards your left wrist. And if half pigeon doesn't work for you, you can always do figure 4 on your back. If you're in half pigeon, walk those fingertips towards the front of your mat. Find space in the sides of your body as you melt your forehead either to a block or to the floor. Hips are squared towards the ground in half pigeon. Right foot is flexed. Where can you surrender in the body? Unravel the tongue. Just let your exhales melt you a little bit closer to the floor. This is that lovely point where you get to start letting go. Letting the fire dissipate. Trusting that the work that you do on your mat with your body and your breath will reap its benefits. Slowly walk the fingertips towards the body if you're in half pigeon. Let the weight come into that right hip. Bring the left leg around. We'll move into Janu Sirsasana, seated tree pose. So left leg comes out to an angle. Right sole of foot plants to the inner left thigh. I like to use a block placed to the inner leg line of my left leg. Then use your left hand as if you're serving a tray of food. And use your forearm against your leg to spiral your heart to where the ceiling meets the wall. Reach your right arm up and over your head. This is a lot like the stacking of the ribs that you see in half moon, in triangle pose, and in side plank. So you're ready for this. Just keep breathing. Slowly unravel here. It's quite an intense pose, so be slow and deliberate. Take a nice little counter stretch by bringing the left hand to the outside of the right knee and just spiraling your heart to the right. We'll prepare for stargazer pose, one of my favorites, next. Your right hand is going to become a kickstand. Left toes are going to point towards the floor. And then swoop that right hand up and around, reach back, lift the hips. Keep lifting the heart and reaching back. Keep breathing. Slowly melt the hips back down to the floor. Nice. That pose always feels like a victory pose to me. Cross those legs. Plant the hands. Make your way back. Downward facing dog. Send the hips up high. Take some nice big breaths in your downward facing dog. Just let go of that side and prepare for the next side. Stick with your breath. Stay right here, right now. Left leg lifts high up to the sky, three-legged dog. Half pigeon, left leg towards your right wrist. Good. Square the hips towards the floor. Find some space in your upper body and then melt your heart towards the floor, maybe using a block or a prop for your forehead. And release the jaw. Just surrender. And if half pigeon doesn't work for you, you can always do figure four on your back. Notice the differences between the sides. You might be able to notice them a lot in half pigeon and figure four. This time on our mat is a time of self-study. Where can you surrender just a little bit more in your body? Where can you let go? The work has been done at this point, so now it's time to trust. It's a lot like those spring gardens. Once you do the work, you have to trust that your beautiful seed is going to sprout. Slowly walk the fingertips towards the body. Bring the weight into the left hip this time. Swing the right leg up and around. We'll prepare for our seated tree pose on this side, Janu Sirsasana. So left sole of the foot plants to the inner right thigh. And then bring that block to the inner leg line of the right leg. Find your tray of food. Right hand faces up, palm up. Use your forearm against your leg to spiral your heart to where the ceiling meets the wall. And then reach that left arm up and over your head. So you're aiming to reach your toes one day. All the while spiraling your heart towards the sky. It's a pretty intense version of Janu Sirsasana, so breathe deeply. Stick with it. One more nice full breath. Fill up. Reach a little bit farther. And slowly come on up carefully. Take that little counter twist. Bring the right hand to the outside of the left thigh. Turn your heart to the left. And then we'll prepare for stargazers on this side. So point the right toes towards the earth. Left hand becomes a kickstand. Lift the hips. Swoop that right hand up in front of your face and then reach back. Lift the heart. Keep breathing, reaching, lifting, filling the heart. Slowly melt the hips back down to the floor. Nice. Bring the legs out in front of you. Give them a little slap. Good, and then plant your feet onto the mat. Maybe grab for a block and slowly roll all the way down to your back. When you get down, take a nice breath. Be heavy. Good, and then plant those feet. Track the feet close into the body. We'll take a supported bridge pose, so maybe grab for your block. Press into the feet, lift the hips up off the mat. Bring your block right underneath your lower back, and then let your hips be really heavy. Find that little sweet spot underneath your hips where you can feel nice and supported. And just let your hips be heavy. Let the exhales just spread the skin and the fascia. Let gravity pull you down. Let the breaths be nice and steady and soft at this point. Let the block support your body. Good. Take a nice, big, full, deep breath. Become a little bit heavier. And then press into the feet and lift your hips up off the block. Let the hips melt back down to the mat. Find your happy baby pose. Reach for the outer arches of your feet or maybe your thighs. Just take a gentle rock side to side on the lower back. Just gently bringing the knees around the ribs and towards the floor. Maybe straightening one leg and then the other. Maybe finding some stillness. And then hug the knees into the chest. Bring the forehead towards the knees. Give yourself a final tight, loving squeeze. Squeeze everything. And then let yourself flop out to your final Shavasana. Let the toes flop out. Just let your whole body relax. Your face relax. The tongue, the eyeballs. Just commit to having some stillness for just a couple minutes. And I'll be back to close practice. Be still. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Just take some nice deep breaths. If it feels good in your body, maybe give yourself a full body stretch. And roll yourself to the right or to the left. Just pause in the fetal position for a moment. Finding some gratitude for yourself. Press yourself up into a nice, strong, proud seat. Sit up nice and tall. Bring the hands to the heart center, or you can leave them on your thighs if you would like. Exhale out all the breath. Take a big inhale, fill up. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Namaste. Thank you for joining. Have a beautiful day.